Hi, everyone. It's Mrs. Patriarcha, and I'm excited to be reading with you again today. We've been coming up with a list of ideas for starting our reading lives at home. Some of the things that we've talked about is how we need to find a great spot to read or some great spots to read in and around our house. Also, finding what times in the day work well for us to read and making that a habit. We've also been talking a lot about finding and collecting things that we're excited to read. And the last time we met, we talked about when we do have time to read, how we want to set goals for our reading and really push ourselves to try to meet those goals. Today, I wanted to teach you that another way that we can make our reading lives really great at home is sharing what we're reading with others. When we're sharing things that we are excited about reading with others, we then can give other people ideas for what they might want to read next. So when I'm thinking about sharing what I'm reading with others, some things that I like to include is the title of the book, the author, and even the genre. Like, is it a fiction? Is it a realistic fiction? Is it fantasy? Maybe it's a nonfiction. I also like to give a short summary of what that book is about. Sometimes I might even just read the back of the book because there's really great short summaries on there without giving away the ending. And then last but not least, I always like to include a favorite part. So I'll put something in the book, like I'll mark that, and then I'll read that favorite part. So let me show you how this might go. I have the book, The Tale of Desborough, and some of you may have read this, and maybe some of you have even watched the movie, but it's an excellent book. It's by Kate DiCamillo, and it is a fantasy. One of my favorite parts in this book is right at the beginning, and it's when Desborough is born. And it says right here, "His ears are too big," said his sister Merlot. "Those are the biggest ears I've ever seen." "Look," said a brother named Furlough. "His eyes are open. Pa, his eyes are open. They shouldn't be." It is true. Desborough's eyes should not have been open, but they were. He was staring at the sun reflecting off his mother's mirror. The light was shining onto the ceiling in an oval of brilliance, and he was smiling up at the sight. "There's something wrong with him," said the father. "Leave him alone." Desborough's brothers and sisters stepped back, away from the new mouse. "This is the last," proclaimed Antoinette from her bed. "I will have no more mice babies. They are such the disappointment. They are hard on my beauty. They ruin for me my looks. This is the last one, no more." "The last one," said the father, "and he'll be dead soon. He can't live, not with his eyes open like that." But reader, he did live. This is his story. I love that part because I think it sets the reader up to be so excited to hear about Desborough's story. And in this story, it is about the main character, this mouse, who just really does not fit in with the other mice, and he's always breaking the typical mice rules. He also falls in love with a princess, and part of his quest throughout this book is to save her from the evil rats. So if you are like me and you love something that will keep you on the edge of your seat and you want to fall in love with a main character who just really is full of adventure and full of life, I think that you'll love this book too. So did you see how I really quickly named the book, told who the author was, said it's a fantasy? I shared a favorite part. I actually started with my favorite part that I shared because I felt like it kind of led into the summary where I just gave a quick overview about the main character and part of his journey, if we kind of think of that story arc, some of the problems that he's going to run into, and tried to entice my readers to read it as well. So I'm super excited. I want you to be thinking about putting together some book talks and sharing what you're reading with others as you are reading at home and building your reading life at home. So as you're reading, you might even want to mark with a Post-it note some favorite parts that might make a great spot for you to share with others. I'm excited to hear about what you're reading, and maybe even some of those things we'll be adding to my list as well. Happy reading.